All right, good evening and welcome to RPG Storytelling, where a bunch of chaotic friends enjoy an adventure of mythic storytelling. It's been a couple of months since our last session. Gotta love those scheduling difficulties. But we are so excited to play tonight and to share it all with you. So, before we jump into tonight's episode of Myths of Gaea, there's a couple of short announcements that I wanted to run through really quickly. First up, I wanted to remind everyone that everyone in our wonderful audience that we are currently streaming on all of our Myths of Gaea and Trapped in the Mists games on Twitch, YouTube Live, and Moonbeam. And you can find all of our links by going to our website at rpgstorytelling.com. For those of you who are fans of our Trapped in the Mist campaign, which we stream on Tuesdays, or most Tuesdays anyways, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're actually currently working with our artist, Dusty Graphics, who is currently working on some gorgeous artwork for our characters for that game, and we hope to be able to share those with you soon. And speaking of artwork, once we get our gorgeous artwork from Dusty, we'll be creating even more amazing merchandise for you to add to your collection. Soon you'll be able to have some amazing shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, notebooks, stickers, and so much more, featuring your favorite characters from both Myths of Gaea and Trapped in the Mist. And that, my friends, is the end of my very short announcements for tonight. What do you say we take a trip 42,000 years into our past as we dive into the pages of Myths of Gaea? Right, welcome back. Since it's been a couple of months since our last episode, my amazing wife Amy, who plays Saoirse, has graciously agreed to give us a full rundown of what happened in our last session. Amy, what happened last time on Myths of Gaea?
Okay, so a couple sessions ago, we had finished with talking to the Kashi Olivia. And then last session, we made our way into the vault that Olivia had granted us entry to and discovered that the vault was just about empty, except for a few scattered coins, which amounted to about 500 gold worth of coins, and a large nest that was empty except for a couple of symbols, one for the Bregalia Empire and the other that we couldn't recognize. The space looks like it was made to be a nest for, it was evident for something like perhaps the egg that we were told was supposed to be in the vault. And there was a gold scale that was remaining behind. And that concerned us, obviously, that, things, this vault that was supposed to be full of riches and had a egg in it was not as described. After a few minutes, we came into the vault, closed behind us. And the doors at both ends had no handles from our side, so we had to figure out a way through. We did find something that said only those who are worthy may pass. So we had to figure out a way to get out of there. At the far end, the other door, Freya eventually tried touching her sword to the door, and this caused some kind of mechanism to move. The door had this pattern of like concentric rings on it, and the rings moved, and we found a hidden keyhole. Um, After a bit of talking, we Saoirse suggested trying the key we had found previously with the little emerald in it that had opened several other things. And it turned out to fit. So after one last sweep of the room to make sure we collected, everything worth grabbing, because, why not take a bunch of gold? We continued into the next hallway, and again, that door closes behind us. At the end of the hall, we found a small hole, and Freya kind of peeked through, and we could see a well-lit, well-decorated room that looked like it might be a throne room of some kind. After examining the space, we did eventually find another small keyhole, and made our way past into the room. It did turn out to be the throne room of the queen, and we were almost arrested. But after, trying to talk our way out of things a little bit, Saoirse asked the queen about Olivia, and the queen seemed to recognize that name. And the party shared the story of what happened with Olivia and with the treasure room. And then upon hearing the egg was missing, the queen became very distraught and asked us to go and look for it. While this was all happening, the chancellor who was standing nearby seemed very shifty while we were talking about the vault and the egg and all the things that were missing. Ultimately, the queen even let us keep the gold and jewels that we found as a startup fund to help us on our way to look for the egg for her. And then on our way out, Freya attempted to give a message about the Chancellor, kind of warning about our thoughts about he might be, not a great person, to the Empress, to kind of warn her. But we're not sure if she got that message clearly. So we ended up getting a total of like 500 gold. It split out to like 75 gold each plus 50 gold for like a start of a party fund, plus a whole bunch of gems. And then we headed over to the Castle Keep Tavern to kind of start organizing our thoughts. And some of us kind of wandered off to shop a little bit as well. And that's where we left off last time.
I think there was one last little part that happened while you were at that tavern. Krier or Freya, would you like to fill us in on what transpired?
Are we talking what was it? Sapphic shenanigans?
Oh,
In the
right.
form of a drinking contest.
Yes, I forgot about that bit.
Having
And
to
Freya, who like drank Greer under the table. Greer, who prides herself on being high tolerance.
demigod.
There were many
Demigod.
jokes about that bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Helping
He ended up very day drunk.
Yes.
All right. So I think that mostly covers it. I know that Arius had gone and done some shopping and gotten some very interesting items. Met a cute little gnome that was really fun to encounter. But as we jump back in with Freya and Greer dragging the party along as they start the process of bar hopping, You find yourself
Oh,
stumbling
right.
through the
We're
streets
going
of
bar
Cragminster.
hopping.
Yes.
Well, Greer is stumbling. Freya's fine, strangely.
Was there, if I remember correctly, somebody cast some sort of. It's been a minute.
How does a drunk centaur walk anyway?
I
Very
think we had
carefully.
this discussion.
Sideways.
Do we need to have Freya carry her?
Good luck.
I think she could do
I'll
it.
try it.
Anything
Question is how? Is she gonna carry her like a baby cat? Is she
Maybe.
gonna carry her shoulder? Is she gonna like princess carry her? But which end is the princess?
Depends on what you like.
Exactly.
Like fireman carrier?
Yeah.
1,100 pounds. I'm half horse, guys. No one's carrying me.
Statistically, they're medium size, so
I've picked up baby horses.
So, as you stumble through the streets, heading from what was going to be your lodging for the night in Crag Heights, you start stumbling through the streets, heading down the main thoroughfare.
I'm
towards
filled with
Pacific
unease at your choice of words there.
You mean the what would have been?
What was going to be, yes.
Yes. There's nothing to worry about, really. She said very slyly. But as you are going, it's starting to get late in the evening. A lot of the normal businesses have closed up for the night, and most all that's left open is possibly places to rent a room for the night, or possibly one of the many taverns that is throughout the city. But I would like everyone to give me a perception check.
I'm not with them, by the way, because I'm coming back. I was supposed to join them, correct?
No, you had joined them at the tavern before they left.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah. So everybody give me a perception check. Greer and Freya at disadvantage.
Roll much lower than what I just did, so yeah.
I find them entirely way
Fine.
too entertaining to be watching to pay attention to anything else.
So, even with the disadvantage, 16.
Oh, very nice. All right. So, Saoirse, Arius, or actually I'll start with Gray and Greer. Greer, sorry. You are fully 100% concentrating on just staying upright. Gray, on the other hand, is fully consumed with trying not to laugh at how funny it is that you're trying to stay upright.
Freya is like walking right next to Greer and making sure she's not toppling over.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she technically has 2 left feet.
And
so...
still somehow managing to be reasonably perceptive, which, considering I have a +0 to perception, the 19 and the 16 on the dice was amusing.
Very nice.
Because Freya should be drunk, too.
Should be.
Should
With
be.
all that alcohol, you would think so. But Saoirse, Arius, and Freya, by some strange means, as you're walking down the street, torches are starting to be lit to kind of light the streets. And as you're passing a small square that's kind of more like a courtyard for a building, a business that has since closed for the day, you see a flamboyant character displaying a tray of sparkling necklaces and rings.
Hey, I'm already over here.
Exactly. And he calls out, Friends, come see. Many fine crafted silver and gold pieces of jewelry just for you. I assure you, it's a once in a lifetime discount. You'll never find prices like this. But please, clear the air and come see what I have to offer you.
I don't think they've been together long enough to take that step.
Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
it was
get
in
married
there.
after knowing someone for only, 2 days?
What are you talking about? Who's getting married?
Ignore them. Ignore.
What did you say,
No.
Iris?
Okay.
No, nothing.
Okay.
I just said, I'm sure they were heading that direction anyway.
Could be.
It can't hurt to look. You never know what you'll find that you might want later.
Anyway,
I mean,
moving.
she's possibly drunk enough. We could steer him to the nearest temple.
I'm not that drunk.
What? Why are we being steered to a temple?
Don't worry about it.
I'm confused.
We could just have
Jewelry.
Sorsha
I mean,
officiate.
I'm not against temples in general, but
I volunteered to be the best man and the best woman because I throw the best bachelor parties.
I just continue walking.
I never
I don't
say
know where
no
I'm
to
going.
a
I
good-
just keep walking.
I never say no to a
I
good
want
party,
to see
but
what the gentleman has.
Do any of your jewelry? Does any of your jewelry have any magical properties?
Oh, more than a few of them have some very interesting magics. Please come see. I've got, whether you're looking for gold, silver, perhaps some nice copper or brass. I even have one or two that might even be platinum. What
I'm
suits
not
your
picky
fancy?
about metals. I'm interested in, what they might do. Tell me more about them.
Well, I'm not quite sure what each one does because I haven't tried them myself. But the person that I got them from was telling me that some of these have magics for illusions, others for doing fire magics. There's even a couple that do ice magics, which is really fun. I even think I have one that all it does is make plants. Do any of these sound interesting to you at all?
Sounds like paltry tricks.
Oh, I assure you, no tricks at all.
Tell me more about the
I
one
need
that
to
makes
really
plants.
Legit.
Let me see, which one was it? This one here. I believe the right one. And he goes through just kind of rummaging over the rest of them just to make sure he's got the right one that he's looking for. And this one, I believe, it makes small plants, large plants, and various types of trees. I think you might even... The person I got these from said that you could even step through trees on this one. I'm not sure if I believe him or not, but I've never seen it, so it might work.
Well, a demonstration would convince me.
Oh, no demonstrations. Can't waste the magic that might be in there.
Might.
And how much for this potentially magical ring?
Let's see. I could probably let this one go for, let's say 15 gold?
Oh, something that cheap isn't suspicious at all.
Like I said, best discounts ever. You will never see these prices ever again.
How hot are they?
Is this
Pretty
like
cool,
the equivalent of taking candy from a stranger in a carriage?
Are they
Out here, I'll
inside a
get it
trench
ripped
coat? Or is this the back of a wagon?
I suppose for 15 gold, the worst that can happen is The
Get
ring
ripped
isn't
off?
magical. Well, the ring isn't magical, and we have something for you guys to get married with.
Again, who is getting married? What have I
No
missed?
one.
And actually, I feel like that's not the worst thing that could happen. I feel like magic, from what I've heard, can sometimes be rather unpredictable, so I don't know. It would be worse if it did something completely different, like dropped a fireball on our heads.
It could
That would be
always be
worse.
cursed.
That too. Yeah, that.
Harris is ignoring this conversation and handing you 15 gold.
Oh, this should be entertaining.
Thank you, sir. Please, here, I'll even put it on finger for you.
Oh no.
Oh, I want to see what happens now.
And he puts it on your finger. Which finger do you put it on?
Left pointer.
Left pointer? Okay. So he slides it on your left pointer finger. And
Freya's gonna step back from Arius.
Same with Greer.
you don't feel anything from it. Of course, you're not trying to identify magic or detect magic or anything. It's just
Because I don't have those spells prepared.
it's a pretty ring.
I mean, I could figure it out after you're cursed. You want to have me spend 10 minutes.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. I never experienced a curse before, so if it's that, it'll at least be a story I can tell.
If you love to tell it.
Do I feel anything or anything happens after the ring gets on?
You don't feel anything. But who knows what'll happen?
Freya's gonna lean over to Greer and go, Aren't we supposed to be the kind of reckless ones?
I'm not even sure who's who at this point. It's too late in the evening and I'm too drunk to understand what's going on.
So
I'm not drunk, and I don't understand what's going on, so.
So Arius, the ring is made of 2 entwined bands of silver and is set with a green stone. Might be an emerald, hard to tell. But it might have some abilities.
Cubic zirconium painted green.
It's a green piece of glass.
Do I have any sense whether or not there's something that needs to be attuned to?
Possibly. You might have to identify it to figure that out.
Got it. Well, great. Whenever you get the chance, we can identify it, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, good sir.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Was there anything that any of you would like looking to the rest of the group?
For the love of Iran, no. No one else buy into whatever this is, please.
Have you got anything that does any kind of healing magic?
Healing magics. Let me see what I've got. And he starts looking over his rings, trying to pick out the perfect one. Let's see. Yes. And he picks up a ring that beautiful by all accounts. And this one here, very special, just for you, I'm sure. It does healing, but gives special bonus to wearer as well. Does this interest you?
What does the ring look like?
So it's a gold ring, and you can kind of see what looks to be forming kind of like let's see, gilded onto or gilted onto however you want to say it, onto the actual band, so it kind of goes around the band itself. Looks like if as you kind of turn the ring, it looks like a caduceus.
Arius, are you feeling all right about your ring right now?
Well, it hasn't fireballed our heads, so.
And I still do seem relatively alive.
But he hasn't tried to use it, so.
And how much did you want for this ring?
Oh, this one. Let's see. This one is extra special. I've actually tried this one. This one is very, very helpful. Almost don't want to get rid of it, but special deal just for you. We'll do 20 gold.
Okay, I'll give this one a try.
While
Wonderful.
she's doing that, I want to point the ring away from anyone in particular. Is there like any
We
grass or
appreciate
any plants nearby?
Yeah, there are plenty of bushes, trees, grass.
I want to try and not knowing at all what this does, attempt to channel magic and see if anything happens with using the ring while unattuned and unknowing what it is.
Okay. So as you go to try to cast some type of magic, you're not even sure what, a little squirrel comes running down the trunk of a tree.
Don't let me
Just
kill a squirrel.
and just stands right in front of you.
Do I have enough time to stop doing what I'm going to do? Or what
If
I'm
you
not
so
going to do because I
desire.
don't know what this does?
If you
I
so
will
desire.
stop. Yeah. This doesn't affect squirrels according to the salesman.
Okay. So, as you stop mid casting of whatever, the squirrel looks up at you, and turns around and leaves. He literally throws his hand, like you say, never mind.
Okay, then I will attempt again to cast a spell with it.
And as you do, a bird flies down, lands on Greer's back.
It's just a ring of summoning small critters.
Start
I'm gonna
swatting
point
at
in a
it.
different. I'm gonna point in a different direction and try again.
That one spot on my back I can't reach, so I'm like turning in circles trying to get it.
And
Freya's gonna reach up and see if the bird will come under her hand instead of on Greer's back.
as you try to get the bird off of Greer's back and onto your hand, give me an animal handling check.
All right.
Well, you handle it, animal.
That's a nat 1, which I can re-roll.
Go for it.
Much better. 16.
Okay, 16. So, the bird is doing its best to try to stay stable on Greer's back while she's trying to knock it off.
Freya's just going, come here, buddy.
And as you're kind of trying to get it onto your finger, it keeps looking back and forth between you and Arius. To you, to Arius. To you, to Arius. Looks at Arius for a little bit longer, and then just kind of hops over and onto your finger.
I'm gonna bring him over to Arius. Be like, is this your bird?
I have no idea. Give me one moment because I think I have something for this.
Gonna hang out with the bird.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Got it.
because I actually do get that spell as a druid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ritual, but I'm not going to spend 10 minutes on this. I'll just use a spell slot.
Okay.
Hello, tiny bird.
Hello.
Did you by any chance come because something was calling to you?
I felt magic and I came to see what it was.
How long does this say? It says 10 minutes, okay. You felt the magic.
Yes.
Like this, so then I will point away from the bird, but just in a general area, and try using the ring again.
I'm already here, stupid.
Well, you don't need to be rude about it. I don't know what this ring does. I'm just testing it out.
Off the side, Greer's gonna go. She has no idea what the squirrel is saying, but suddenly I
Bird.
like
It's the bird.
Oh, well, the bird. Sorry. Oh, right, it is the bird.
Uh-huh.
I like this beard.
Oh, did you hear that? She likes you. And I'll point towards... Wait, Jam, I don't want to get names mixed up.
Don't
This
land on my
one.
back again. But as long as you're pissing him off, you're kind of funny.
Well, okay. There is a comfortable back, plenty of space to land.
Oh, she would love if you go there.
I'm gonna offer him my shoulder instead of just holding him on a finger.
You don't know what the bird is
Casually
saying.
rest my
No,
hands on my
but-
swords and stare at this bird.
I'm pretty good at balancing, but
If she only knew.
this perch is a little bit bigger, so it's easier to stand on.
She's calling
I agree.
her butt big. It's a good thing she can't understand it.
That's a great perch. I suggest you go ahead. You'd have a nice time.
You mean you don't want to be my friend?
Hmm?
You caught me. I thought you wanted to be friends.
But I liked you. Not that I wanted to be friends.
No, I was saying this to Arius.
Oh, right. I can't even tell. I don't know why I'm responding. I can't hear what the bird.
It's all in your head.
Greer is so drunk
I was so
that
drunk.
she can
I'm tuning in.
understand the bird.
So
I'm just
drunk
that
you-
good at reading facial expressions.
Aha.
Well, I have always wanted an animal friend. My name is Arius. Do you have a name?
Of course I have a name. Don't be silly.
Well, I'm brand new to bird culture. I don't know how. I don't know how you guys refer to each other.
Well, we'll start with my name, which is Gob.
Hello, Gob.
Hello, Arius.
Is Arius speaking in common, or how does speak with animals work, or is he just sitting there chirping?
You know what? It's never been clear.
I think it's up to either the player or how they stylize it.
I am most definitely chirping this entire conversation, by the way,
Got it.
All right.
but with a common accent. So
You're a cronk. Squeak, 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 squeak. Squeak, squeak,
So-
squeak, squeak.
That's
basically,
hilarious. I love it.
He has enough of an accent that other birds know he's not a native speaker.
Your Finch is very good, I must say.
Oh, well, thank you. I only just learned it right now, specifically for you.
You're a very quick learner.
I'm not so talented. With magic, you can achieve many effects, such as this one. I I'm sure you don't often speak with other humanoids.
I can honestly say this is a first. Very strange conversation. Normally we talk about worms and nests and egg season, weather. This is strange conversation.
I mean, as a Gith, he probably has those conversations too, especially about egg season.
Well,
Oh, wait a minute. I totally have speak with animals. I'm tempted.
It's up to you.
Would you notice if I just cast it subtly on the side so I could eavesdrop? Just, just could cast it.
let's see. Speak with animals. It's verbal and somatic, so we'd hear you.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear me muttering over there, but
True. Well, Gob, I will say I accidentally called you. I was using this ring and didn't know it would do that. But for your troubles, and I will use another spell slot to cast Goodberry. And I'll hold them on the palm in my hands like this, and be like, for you. Have as many as you'd like. Oh, of course.
I can only carry 2. I'll eat one now and take the others home to my wife.
Sounds like a perfect plan.
Perfect.
I'll leave it like on the ground, maybe like by one of the bushes for him, so he can properly eat and distribute it however he'd like.
Oh, thank you.
And he
All 10.
hops down off of Freya's shoulder and down onto the ground. Picks up one in his mouth, quickly crunches it up in his beak, and swallows. And then picks first one up in one claw, and then a second one in a second claw, and then he takes off towards his tree.
Is his tree nearby, or is it like he's going far away?
It's probably 20 feet away.
I'm just wondering if like he's gonna come back and forth to take the other ones, or he's just gonna leave it at that.
Don't know yet.
I mean, I left it there for him to decide, so it's fine. Well, good sir, it seems this ring may affect animals more so than plants.
Maybe it does both.
Well,
Does he have no response to that?
Not so far.
well, that didn't go too horribly. Do you have anything that has like any kind of like abjuration magic, protective?
Abjuration protective.
You're still speaking as a bird.
Yeah, we're talking to the seller.
Spoiler alert, Gob is actually the seller.
Gotta get
That's
God
an
out of there,
illusion
got
over
stuck in my
there.
throat.
Every single one of the magic items, this is going to summon another Gob.
Let's see. No, no. Trying to find the right ones. Where is it? So you're looking for like an armor type one?
Or any kind of abjuration magic?
Okay. Let's see what I can find for you. Gotta be good, of course. Let's see. Trying to find. This is the fun part of finding magic items for players at their request. It takes a little time to find. There we go. There we go. All right. Gotta have one in here somewhere. Nope. So many good things. Alright, I think this will be the one. Okay, so he goes through his many rings and pulls out one. Looks like a thin iron ring, and it has like a helm-like visor at its top. This ring here, it's very protective. It keeps you safe. I'm not sure if it means gives you armor or if it just gives you shield or what, but man says it gives many good options for protection.
And how much do you want for it?
Very expensive ring, this one. Let me see. Normally I would sell, you could probably find this for 1,000 gold. For you, for very special customers, we will try 40 gold.
All right.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And he hands it over to you in exchange for the 40 gold. Was there anything else the three of you wanted, or maybe the two of you? I might have a ring just for you, tall, wobbly one.
The one with the extra legs.
That's the one.
Glare at Gray for a second.
Is it a ring of sobriety? Because she could certainly need one of those.
You're gonna have to have something extremely interesting in order to convince me to buy it.
Where is it? So he actually pulls out a necklace that has a small amulet on it. At first glance, this amulet looks square, like just a regular silver square. It's on a silver colored chain as well. But as you attempt to look closer, give me a Constitution saving throw, just to see if you can focus your eyes long enough. No harmful effects or anything. It's just to see if you can focus your eyes.
That's on save, did you say?
Uh-huh.
9?
Okay. So you're having trouble distinguishing between the three necklaces in front of you.
Ice is going to change.
But he holds it out, and he sees your eyes looking very unfocused, and he tries to match his bobbing back and forth with your eyes going back and forth, and you
My head starts doing this.
You slowly start to make out that the amulet is actually in the shape of a beer stein.
I'm almost feeling guilty for having instigated the shenanigans at this point. Did I instigate them or did you?
Oh, it was
I think
me.
it was a mutual.
Oh,
It's
it
very
was
mutual.
okay, so I just went along with it.
Put me in a tavern. Drinking games were going to ensue. But then, like, everything becomes a challenge.
Everything becomes a competition between the two of us.
So this necklace and amulet would be perfect for you, I think. I can see that you are having a little trouble with balance today, so I make you a very special deal. This silver necklace is great for healing, great for recovery, great for hangover.
She'll be here tomorrow morning.
I'll let it go for 15 gold.
15 gold.
15 gold.
Well, I think highly of this necklace.
I think it would do you many wonders, both today and many days in future.
12. 12 gold. That's the most I'll give you.
Give me a persuasion check.
17.
12. I think I can do 12.
Alright. At least. The bigger stein. It's not cool.
Okay. There we go. Let's see. Got that one. Got that one. Got that one. And I'm trying to remember what I gave to Freya.
You said it was a silver ring with a helm-shaped thing on it.
Yep.
Yeah, iron.
Let's see. Let's see, where is it? See, now I gotta, where was it? Was it in that one? Well, I will find it in a minute, but we'll keep going from here. So, he looks over at Gray. And was there anything for you? Necklaces,
tell me.
rings, bracelets. Well, it
Is there
depends on what
anything
you
in
are
that
looking
magic
for.
bag that would interest me, Mr. Wizard?
I don't know what interests you. I don't know everything.
Everything generally interests me. Just depends if it can hold my interest.
Let me see. I sense some very interesting traits about you. What shall we give? I see that you do like jewelries. Let me see what I have in my little stash. And he starts digging through the rings, digging through his necklaces, and nope. There we go. No, too big. gotta find the right one for you. Okay, so I have this amulet, and he holds up a copper necklace, and on it has got a little amulet. This one, I sense that there's things that you don't want people to know about you. I sense that you like to keep hidden from time to time. Yes?
I mean, it's hard being the center of attention all the time.
This I know. So I have this amulet for you. Gives you a way to hide from others.
And how much is this amulet?
This one is very special. Very, very special. I believe I can probably let this one go for 60 gold.
Oh, I thought it was discount day.
Oh, this
about
is
50?
discount. They're normally these amulets are normally 2,000 gold easily. 60 gold, great price.
Can I insight check how, I guess, if he's being honest about that?
Sure.
19.
Wow.
Okay.
Or how sincere he is about that statement.
So as he's saying these things, you can see that he has a smile on his face. His posture, it's not hunched. It's not kind of trying to get away type thing. He looks like he believes what he's saying. But every once in a while, you do catch his eyes kind of darting between his goods to each of you, to the area behind you. But, Gray, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Let's see.
$13. Okay.
Well, I think I have something for persuasion. What does Silver Tongue give me? Is he technically a humanoid?
Looks to be.
Let's
2 arms,
see.
2 legs.
Humanoid with a charisma score of 10 or lower. Don't think he's got a 10 or lower.
Nope.
Okay. I don't get double my proficiency bonus.
So, 13 total?
Yes.
You drive a hard bargain. Alright. Let's go 52 gold.
Odd number. I like it. You have me by curiosity.
But that's an even number.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, you can always use an extra trinket or two.
Exactly. Alright. So, as he completes all of your sales and hands you the jewelry that you've purchased, whether it be rings or amulets, he says, "Thank you very much for your patronage. I will be around town if you decide that you want even more. Come back. Let me know. Aliyah bids you many wonderful evenings." And he closes up his case, packs it all up, and walks away.
We're never seeing him again. And now that we have the magical tracking devices planted on us.
Well, I'm sure Gray can tell us all about it soon.
I mean, if you want, we can sit down at a nice bar. Okay, just detect magic and give you some hints. Other than that, you're on your own for identifying them.
Bar.
Okay. So do you continue on to the Sacred Chalice?
Unless anyone has any other detours, sure.
Okay. So you continue down the street. It's a lovely evening. Nice cool breeze coming in off the water. And you eventually make your way to the Sacred Chalice. And as you enter through the front door, the band that was here a couple days ago is here once again, playing some nice relaxing music. You're able to find a table right near the front, and let's see, what's her name? Bredel comes over, takes your order for what would you like? Wines, ales, mead.
We're doing this again?
I think this one's had enough.
Disagree.
We'll just prop her up in the corner, though. She'll be fine.
Maybe we'll go slower this time.
Up to you.
Look, I'm sure Freya would be more than happy to escort you to your room if you've had enough.
I can do that.
So,
We'll
so
see what happens.
as she brings out your drinks, did you want
You just say we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Just, I was talking about the beer. Beer. What did you think I was talking about?
Hey, I have no idea what's going on.
Same.
All I know is people seem to be laughing at us.
That's pissing me off. Here.
So, you get your drinks. You get a small bowl of stew for each of you, just to have something in your bellies other than just all that wonderful alcohol. And what would you like to do? Conversations? Anything else?
Anyone have any ideas on what to do first? All these options.
Well, we have a Minotaur to find.
No immediate.
And a
lead.
dragon egg.
That seems like the more immediate lead.
Minotaur is like half a continent away, I believe.
Is where?
Half a continent away, at least.
Of course,
you
but
have the funds to go and hunt down this Minotaur for, ship, food,
I
I have an
lodging.
idea of where the lair is, but he's not always there. In fact, most times he's not there.
I suppose a dragon egg would fetch a really, really pretty price. Of course, there's always, the classic reward for it.
I was gonna say, aren't we supposed to be finding it for the queen rather than finding it to sell it?
I mean, we promised to find it. We didn't exactly promise to bring it back. You could easily fund a voyage to go hunt down your Minotaur and your, long lost.
But consider this. If we find it for the queen, perhaps she would supply us with what we need for our voyage.
Yes, that's why I suggested reward as well.
There is something to be said for having a royal patron.
She already gave us like 500 gold just to get started. Think about how much she might give us if we find it.
we're a little obligated at this point to at least do somewhat what she asks.
I don't know.
There was the bit where
I do a lot of what she asked. She was rather striking.
There was the bit where she unarrested us too. I mean, that was good.
That was nice of her.
After, we stole from. So.
Well, we accidentally stole. We didn't knowingly know that was her things. But yes, I agree. We can find. But I agree. We can find this egg, get it back to her, and ask her to help us fund this voyage to find this Minotaur.
What exactly do we have for leads? The bandits. They were down there.
They had something about... Wasn't there some sort of a note talking about the mothers on them? What was that about? Is that something we should look into?
As far as I know, they don't have anything to do with the eggs situation. Maybe.
How would you know that?
Exactly my question.
Just anything. Pick a fish to fry.
Do you know
it seemed...
who these mothers are?
I mean, the cat better seem to think I did.
Was she
If
right?
you claim to know what they're about, then yes, if we would like to hear some defense.
Do you think maybe someone tried to pawn it at a pawn shop? Fabergé eggs? Should we try the, market?
The market? You think it would just be selling that out there?
That's where you get eggs, don't you?
I mean, we could try, but I don't have any...
If I stole an egg from the Queen's vault, I would not be just selling it in the market outside her castle.
No, neither would I. That's a little too on the nose, I think.
So we're probably looking at someone who's smuggling it outside of the city.
There you go.
So then we need to find smugglers.
We need to find whoever's the underground of the city, probably.
What kind of place is it that we're in right now, Sarah?
The Sacred Chalice is a local eatery and tavern. It's also got a few rooms in the back for guests to rent.
It's not seedy at all, is it? We're not at like a seedy bar?
No.
This place seems too highbrow for any sort of underground types to prowl. We're gonna look for someone who does any smuggling.
Well,
We gotta find a place dirtier than this.
So, question. Do we think that the bandits that we found down there are the ones who took the egg?
We have found it on them because, we either killed or...
Well, that, and also, as far as we know, they never worked out how to unlock the door.
But they were the only other ones down there.
They were the only other ones down there, but
the Chancellor seemed awfully shady. Maybe he was involved.
Well, yeah,
He might have access to the vaults.
Point. Break into the Chancellor's chambers.
Chambers or house? I imagine he probably has a really fancy house around here.
Likely.
I do
Seems
love
like a more
crashing
specific
parties.
lead.
I mean, we could always just catch him and interrogate him.
That sounds
Feel
like an
like
option.
that might result in our secondary arrest.
I mean, not if he
How
confesses.
about it?
I think we should start
Has
with
a
looking
bag
for
over his head.
smugglers.
No one can. He can't tell who it is. He's got a bag over his head, and we get him first.
I think we can start looking for smugglers first. You two, and he points to Greer and Freya. You're going on a drinking binge anyway, so why don't we just end up at a seedy place and see if we can overhear anything important?
We're going on another drinking binge.
Were you not already on one?
I don't know. I'm
Our
At this
hobby.
time,
What's
it's
another
a drinking
bar?
binge with purpose.
Yes. See, Greer's down, aren't
Yeah,
you,
I can
Freya?
like you sometimes.
Are you gonna let her win?
It's only
I
round
s-
2.
I see what you did there. All right, fine. I'm in.
Now,
Ah,
how do we find somewhere seedier?
Oh,
We'll
I
ask
can
the
find it. No
bartender.
problem. Let's go.
Do I feel
Guarantee you it's
confident
gonna be
that
down
Gray
by the
actually
docks.
can? Okay.
all right. There's this very unfamiliar little voice in my head that's telling me this is a really bad idea.
That's exactly what you should
I'm
ignore
not
it.
gonna listen to that voice, but it
We
is there.
It's almost like a supernatural voice coming from above, from someone who has much higher morals than you. You should ignore that.
Is my sword giving me any inkling of whether this is a good idea or not?
Give me a. Let's see,
What
check
what
do I wanna go?
what check is it supposed to be? Let's see. Insight.
Yep, give me an insight check.
Okay.
You know, traditionally it's an angel on your shoulder, not a sword.
Okay, listen. We just had this conversation about how this sword is not just a sword, right?
Mhm.
That's the third 16 I have rolled tonight on 3 different dice sets. Something weird's going on.
I know, it's not 20s.
So, I do have a bonus to insight. I had forgotten about that. 18 total.
18 total. It's
Not
saying
Evandriel's plus 9, but something.
So you're kind of questioning whether the additional drinking is a good idea, or the trying to find information is a good idea.
Both? Both.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like the additional drinking is probably not a good idea, but if it's for the right reasons.
I mean, how late is it?
It's
Do we have to
getting-
morning drink?
It's getting to be about 9 o'clock at night right now.
What time in the world?
But as far as the drinking goes, you don't really get much. Maybe a frowny face emoji. But as far as seeking
That
for more
tracks.
information, you definitely get a happy face emoji.
All right.
Wait, what are we getting emojis from?
The sword.
My
apparently.
sword.
Okay.
My sword
But
is
it's all
communicating in
sword.
emojis.
It's all sword emojis, unless you're Freya.
Yeah, so basically you just see Freya pull her sword out, and just stare at the unicorn on the pommel really intently. And
Yeah,
then
that's weird.
sheath it and go, all right, I'm in. Let's do this.
I stare at my dagger for a second. Nope, nothing. I'm in anyway.
Okay. So, did you want to spend time trying to identify these items? that
Oh
you just
yeah,
purchased?
we should probably do that.
Well, it's detect magic, not identify, right?
Well, it's up to you which one you'd rather.
No,
I
no, I
only
meant
have detect
that's what Gray
magic.
has.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have identify.
Okay.
Yeah. Do clerics get identify? We'd have to sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
druids
but,
don't get it, so I can't.
Yep. You might be muted, Amy, because I'm not hearing you.
Oops. I don't currently have it. I don't remember if I can have it or not.
We're just gonna have to randomly use them and see what happens.
Well, as you cast Detect Magic, then, for whoever does that, each of these does have a sense of magic to them.
Do they kind of match what the person said? You know, like conjuration for the one that supposedly conjured plants, and abjuration for the shield one, or helm one.
For Arius's ring, it's kind of got two different magics on it. And then, but yeah, overall, the schools tend to match kind of what he was saying about each of the items.
I forgot how we run this, Sarah, but like if during a short or long rest, if we examine these items, is there a way, is it like an arcana check to like maybe learn more about them?
Attuning to them would definitely give you some good information, but beyond that, it's just kind of feeling what types of magic there is.
Okay. Well, all right. So the next time we have an hour, I'm gonna try. Well, I need to attune to my staff first, and I'd rather do that. So
Okay. Can definitely do that. So, as it's getting late in the evening, did you want to find rooms here at the Sacred Chalice or find them elsewhere? Or did you want to go out exploring some more, drinking some more? What would you like to do?
I thought the
Well-
goal was to really lead us to a seedy bar to learn more about
Yeah.
stuff.
If we want to
However,
do that tonight.
I would prefer to not stay at the seedy bar. Let's plan to come back here.
So I'll reserve some rooms for us.
Okay. So, Jaredel says that each room has 2 beds. You can get each room for 10 silver. For a room, not for a bed. So that'll
So there's
So
any
we would
private
need-
rooms?
Nope.
What if we have company?
They're all doubles.
Okay, we need to go to a place with private rooms.
Well, as it stands, we would need 3 rooms, and one of us would be rooming alone anyway. So if someone gets lucky, they can have that room. Let me rephrase that. So Gray, more than likely, would have that room.
Or, if any of the group of us couple up with each other, they can just share a room.
Uh-huh.
Just saying, that
None of us are looking at Freya and Greer at all.
could happen.
So that'll be 30 silver.
Mhm.
It's 10 silver each, so 30 silver.
Yep, or 3 gold, either or.
I'll fork over 30 silver for one of the rooms.
Well,
No,
it's
no,
10
30
silver
is for
per
all
room.
3.
Oh,
It's basically 1 gold per room for a night.
I'll
I'll
put on the 3 gold for all 3 rooms.
I'll pitch a gold in then.
And at the very least, it's a place to store your gear while you're going out and doing things.
And my horse is stabled here as
Yeah.
well. Yes.
Stabled at the stables near here. Yes.
Legally parked this time.
Yes.
You don't want them to put a boot on your horse.
So. All right. So you're looking for a seedy bar, huh?
Yeah, I'm curious. Maybe it's near the docks.
Near
They're
the
trying to get out of the
docks.
city. That's where I would take it.
Okay. Let's see what we can find. Do I have any down here? Docks. You know what? I didn't actually. Oh, I got one. That's not exactly seedy though. Most of the docks area is pretty upscale. But if you want,
There's got to be a place the sailors go.
there is an area that is on the western side of town. Down at on the back side of the Crescent Moon Castle. You might be able to find something there. So would you like to try there?
Let's do it.
Let's go mingle.
Right. Let me see. Oop. Places. Okay. Did I already name this one? I'm trying to think if I did or not. No, I did not name this one yet. Good, I get to come up with a new name. Cool. Alright, so let me put you back onto the main map and we will go from there. So you get directions from Jaredil on how to get there. It's not exactly an easy walk, but it'll get you there.
It's not easy because Greer keeps going and, well, she can't seem to walk in a straight line.
So as you head out of the tavern, out of the Sacred Chalice,
The other four of us kind of bundle around her to keep her straight.
I'm not that bad.
She's probably starting to sober up by this point.
I only
Right?
had one beer at the last bar. I do
We'll
have
fix that when we get
tolerance.
to the next one.
Greer, give me a Constitution saving throw to see how well you're doing.
$18.
All right, much better. You're feeling much more steady. You're not quite seeing 3 or 4 anymore. Now you're just seeing 1.5 things in your vision.
Nice.
But your equilibrium is starting to feel a lot better. Let me see something. No. There it is. Okay. That one's not going to work yet. But yeah, you're starting to feel better. Having some stew in your belly is kind of helping, along with the bread that came with the stew. Kind of help to slop up some of that alcohol.
Mhm.
But you head out, hang a right, and head back towards the main area, or the main crossroads right inside the gate. You pass by the stables where Freya's horse is stabled, and you keep going straight down till you make a left turn.
I saved the carrots that were in my stew, and I give them to my horse on our way by.
Okay, sounds good. You can definitely do that. As you go down the street, you pass a few shops On your right side, there's a blacksmith shop. On your left, there's an artificery called Abel's Artificery. Make a left turn, and another blacksmith shop. Keep going a little further, and you see up ahead that you can either make a right turn or you can keep going straight. There's like a little set of staircases going up back towards the area where the castle is. But you were told to make a right turn, heading through the, or past the Parthenon of the Olympians. Beautiful green, beautiful green area with a lot of temples dedicated to the gods of Krioslos, I should say. Almost said Greek gods, but no, it's the gods of Krioslos. I'll get this right one of these days, I promise. But you continue a little further. Behind the Parthenon of the Olympians, up on top of the hill, you see the Parthenon of the Tua de Danann, which is dedicated to all the gods of Haeslios, also known as the Celtic gods for the rest of us. But you keep going past all the housing for all of the religious temples' staff. Very nice little area, very well kept. You eventually get to a little bit of a wall that kind of separates two districts within the area, or within the city. This one, as you pass through it, the neighborhood goes from nice, well-kept, very pretty looking, to very run-down. Not quite like total slums, but it's considered the slums. It's still decent compared to like tiny little villages where it's just like nothing but mud streets. But it's more run down. It's an older section of the city. This is where the not quite as privileged people tend to live, just because they can't afford the more expensive areas. But you keep walking.
Can't escape economic disparity even in games.
Exactly. Unfortunately, as you get little ways up into the middle, on your left-hand side, up on a little rise, you see what looks to be some kind of garrison. You see soldiers in armor walking around. You see on some of the outer greens of the property, you see a couple of soldiers kind of dueling with swords just to practice. You see some practicing their archery.
That
Christy.
would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun if we found like a gladiatorial arena or something.
And
I'm
Christy,
sure you could find some wrestling.
so Christy,
Yeah,
can you mute
I
when
could do
you're
that.
doing like keyboard and getting the snacks? It's kind of coming through really well. But as you keep going, you get to another wall to separate districts. But this one isn't so much of a wall as it is a step up into another section. So there's actually like a ridge, maybe 10, 15 feet high, with a staircase that follows the path from the slums up into what is known as Smuggler's Cove.
Is
This
it
is
an
ki-
actual cove?
It is an actual cove. So eventually you
A
get
very on-the-nose name.
eventually you get to the docks area. There's a lot of ships parked here. There's some businesses that are kind of like floating houses or floating businesses. You even see a little ways down, you see that there's this little stone archway. Well, actually, it's not so little, it's a few 100 feet high, and this is how the ships get in and out of the cove. But the place that Jaredil told you about when you asked him about a CD bar is a place that he called the Fast Jackal's Bar. And it's way up here.
Did he not ask any questions as to why we were looking for a CD bar?
He did not.
All right.
He's
Because they
very
need to
classy.
have an excuse to
Very
find a
classy.
CD bar.
Jaredil's the kind of person that likes to mind his own business when appropriate. And if you're asking for a CD bar while you're in his bar, he's thinking, there's something going on here I don't want to know.
And he doesn't want it to happen in his bar, so he's perfectly okay to sending us to the CD bar.
Exactly. But as you walk in...
Make us someone else's problem.
Yep. As you walk in, it's not nearly as nice as the Sacred Chalice. It is not necessarily a shack, but it's seen a few years. The floors aren't swept and kept as neatly. The bar isn't. It might be a little sticky in a few spots. Most of the patronage that's in here, and there's a lot of people in here at this point. Most of the patronage in here looks more rough, like they ask questions afterwards. But yeah, this is
This is
Fast Jackal's Bar.
what we were looking for, I guess.
So what next? We just go in there and be like, "Hey, is anybody here a smuggler?" Or
Well,
No. Let me, please. Go up to the bartender.
By all means.
if they made us drinks to drink.
Round of ales, please.
And a woman behind the bar, probably mid-40s, little heavier set, looks you up and down. It's like, don't really get your type here very often. But she does pour you a round of drinks. Definitely not top shelf. But each mug that she pours for you is 2 silver. So not expensive.
Can I say something in some sort of thieves can't code that we're looking to get some smuggling done or something like that?
Sure. Let's see. I think I had something for that. I don't remember where I did with it.
Like something like so like the birds are getting ready to fly south for their winter, or some sort of
Something like that.
code
Odd, weird
code
weather thing.
phrase. For example, is accepted in thieves can't.
So, as you say this in code, she replies with, not many birds here this time of year.
I'm sure there's a few stragglers.
I might find a turn or two.
There's always a few birds that like shiny things.
And she doesn't say anything in response. She just looks at you, looks over at your companions that are standing or that have
Why is she
found.
obsessed with birds all of a sudden?
I don't know. But she kind of looks at you, looks at your group standing behind you, and she kind of looks to the right, and she points at a table in the back.
Obliged. Flip her another gold.
And she takes it and have a great night.
You too. And gears back to everyone, but nod at the table that she pointed out to me. Smugglers over there.
Should we perhaps try to like create a diversion or something? Or
We can just hire them. Get to know them that way.
hire them to smuggle what?
Figure that
I
out.
think we just need to find out if they know anyone moving anything particularly, big.
Well, you can't just go up to them and ask them questions like that right off the bat. They're gonna get suspicious.
No, you buy
There's
them
a
a glass
code.
of
They
wine.
protect their own. It's not good business to out other people within the business.
Well, then we put it as
Sneaky
professional
about it.
curiosity.
And as you head back towards this table that you were directed to, you see one person sitting at the table. Guy, probably in his, looks like he might be in his mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s. Dark hair, scruffy beard. He's got a dark pea coat on. And he's sitting there just kind of holding a goblet of some sort, possibly with wine, maybe harder alcohol. Hard to tell, but it's definitely not a stein that might have ale or meat in it. But he's just sitting there, just kind of holding it. Sees you coming over.
What was this bar called again?
The Fast Jackal's Bar. And
Right up to him. You.
he looks
Heard
up
there's
at
some
you.
birds who haven't flown south for the winter yet.
Grab a
Birds.
seat.
Ash is gonna turn
It's for everyone to
to
have a seat.
Saoirse. What?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Some kind of code, I think.
So, what can I do for you?
And to know of any nests nearby.
There's always a few birds around.
There's a particular bird that has a particular egg we're looking for.
I've heard of this egg. What did you want with it?
Location, and I pass him a gold.
Donations are always welcome.
Honesty is a welcome on our end. And it's worth more.
Well, if you're looking for that egg, I can assume that you're not part of the Bannerhawks.
Okay, it was awfully quick to drop that name.
That depends.
Is that a yes or is that a no?
Which answer is going to get us killed?
Does the information you
it's-
provide depend on the answer we give?
Oh, it'll depend on a lot more than that.
And against the birds, we just want the egg.
All right. Let me explain how this goes. As you're speaking bird, you obviously know of the Talon Syndicate. We are we're the finders of lost goods and secrets within Hazelios. Bannerhawks, if you've never heard of them, they're a group from Krioslos trying to muscle in on our territory.
We've heard of them.
Do tell.
Aren't the Bannerhawks the group that we ran into?
Yes.
We've had
Take
some
anything from
run-ins with them. We've got the what was it? The note or something that
Yeah, I'm talking like,
what's his face had?
was there a like a personal item that we lifted off of anybody?
It was a dagger, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Did we take one of their daggers?
I have a very fancy dagger that belonged to one of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't we have that dagger that transforms into like a stick?
Who has that dagger?
I have the dagger.
Put it on the table, show them what you have. Not handing it over, just showing him.
What are you doing? Proving that we beat up a bunch of riffraff running around?
Well, he doesn't seem to like said riffraff, so
No,
pointing
perhaps this.
pointing out that we perhaps took some of them down might earn us a favor or two. Put the thing on the table.
I will show the dagger.
Okay. So as you show him the dagger, it's kind of an interesting little piece you got there.
Yeah.
And you're saying you got this from one of the Bannerhawks?
Took a few others out with him.
Well, he wasn't needing it anymore if we were done with him anyway.
Yeah, I heard rumor that they were trying to gain access to some caverns underneath the Crescent Moon castle.
He gave you some information. We'll give
Em-
you more information on that
emphasis-
once you
Emphasis
tell us
on
where you're-
trying. We're fairly certain they didn't succeed.
Well, I mean, they found some of the outer caverns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
Which means they're probably not the ones who
Well-
have the thing that we're looking for.
they
Nice.
fell short of their goal, and we
Nice.
may or may not have had a hand in that.
Well, that
Nice.
is some good news.
We're trading in information. Perhaps wait to receive information before you just freely give it out. On that note, there's some context.
Well, context is always good. Tells me that you have at least met them. Doesn't prove you're not part of them. For all I know, that you found some conflict with your partners and chose to split ways.
Oh,
Or hairs, as the
you
case
can
may
hang
be.
out with those
Or heads from shoulders.
incompetent
Yeah.
mouth breathers.
There was
I
there
mean-
was some light decapitation.
Light.
Light
Didn't-
decapitation.
It didn't seem very light at the time.
No.
We would have taken the head with us, but those things get kind of messy.
Yeah, it's a little barbaric for even us.
What do you
Starting
want
to
to know
like it.
about us to prove that we're not them?
To be honest, I just wanted to make sure. So you said you're looking for the location of the egg?
Don't think we said so many words, but
I mean, they literally said like egg 5 times in their initial introduction to each other. There were a lot of talking about eggs.
It
in
does
their
seem like
baskets.
he understood exactly what rare meant.
Well, then we must assume that we're not the only ones looking for it. If it's so obvious that we're looking for it.
Yeah, we've been hearing from our sources around town that Bannerhawks were looking for this egg, and they had a pretty high price tag that they were willing to pay for it. They even
How
tried
high a
talking-
price tag?
Well, more than I've seen in a week. But they even tried talking to tried hiring, I should say, some of my talons. Obviously, that didn't go over too well, and they got lost pretty quickly. But I did hear about some captain of theirs that was hunting fairies and other mythical creatures. I even heard that they had kidnapped, I think it was a trio of guys for some minotaur that's been...
You don't have to worry about them.
Which ones?
Aren't these... Well, you don't have to worry about the party that was exploring the caverns.
The kidnapped guys are fine. The fairies are fine. The captain is gone.
Well,
Well, my friend is still kidnapped.
yes.
Well, but that's because he was kidnapped by the monster, not this captain.
Too true.
Yes, I believe the captain
Friends
was
sure
the one
do a lot of
who
getting
was-
kidnapped.
I believe the captain was the one who no longer has his head.
Yeah, this was his dagger.
Well,
We
it
hang
did
for
seem
an
like quite a
artist too long.
fool.
Are we gonna get kidnapped?
Well, we don't do kidnappings much. We try to keep things to theft and secrets. More secrets than theft, but gotta make a living somehow.
Well, now you're talking my language. Got anything juicy?
How much is this location worth?
Let's just say you'll owe me a favor.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, I deal in
Just to-
favors all the time. That's fine.
No, I
Just
do
to be-
too, and I know that's not a very good idea.
Just to be clear, what's the nature of the kind of favors you normally ask for?
Oh, it's nothing that'll get you killed, if that's what you're asking. Maybe just
Is
a
it
little
something that we...
eavesdropping. Maybe a little eavesdropping, or maybe some light thievery.
Oh, we could do that.
Light thievery? So beneath me, though.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure
Me.
something out when it comes time.
I
But
don't like to be indebted to people.
well, if you got a few thousand gold, we can go that route. But figured I'd make it easy on you the first
Yes.
time.
It's a bit above our pay rate right now.
So we got a deal? Favor for information?
I'm okay with it if everyone else is.
Oh, a job for a job sounds like a good deal.
Suppose you don't have any other leads right now, and I very much would like to find this minute. And I'll stop there.
Okay. All right. So, favor for information. Heard from a little bird that there's a ship going out tomorrow night from the main docks over there on the North Cragminster side of things. Let's see. Find a ship name for you real quick.
And can I get a more specific time?
believe it's going out sometime around midnight tomorrow night. And the name of the ship, from what this little bird has told me, is the Ashburton.
Can work with that.
Well, in that case, I believe our business is complete, unless there's anything else.
Suppose I should. Which name should I look for when looking to return the favor?
Don't worry about my name.
One of those situations where you'll find us.
Something like that. Earn my trust, and maybe I'll give you my name next time.
This one's very smooth. I can see why you're in the business you're in.
Well, it is a rather profitable business. So, if there's nothing else, good evening. All right. So, what do you do next?
We have a day to kill. It leaves tomorrow night.
Nope,
Do we
I
wanna
take
try
it
and
we
get
have.
this thing tonight, or probably shouldn't do it in broad daylight.
It's a bit late tonight. Why don't we get some rest and we'll deal with this ship tomorrow.
Well, if we're by the docks, we can always walk by on our way back, too. Scope it out.
Or we could do a quick scout.
He said it was the main docks on the other side, not the ones right here.
Oh, the main docks. Okay.
Yep. Way on the other side of the city.
By the
We'll
time we
just-
get all the way over there, it will be quite late.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I need fine. Well, I mean, I don't get a whole lot of beauty sleep. I got enough of that already, but I do need rest.
Okay. So,
Hmm.
do you
So,
make your
I
way
take
back
it-
over? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so I take it the plan is no more drinks. Go back, get some rest, and prepare tomorrow.
I mean, you don't
Sounds
have
good
get
to
any more
me.
drinks.
That's about it.
So, as you make your way back towards the sacred chalice, get the music going. It's definitely gotten dark. Torches are lit on the sides of the street to give your walk a little bit of light. You can see the stars twinkling overhead. Nice cool breeze coming in off of the water. And eventually you wind up back over at the sacred chalice, where you can head to your rooms, get some rest, and recover for the evening.
But
While we're
all
doing
night
our own
running
rest-
around.
Or have a few more drinks.
Obviously.
Can I attune to the staff right now for the long
Absolutely.
rest?
Absolutely.
And
Tune to the ring
I-
too, if you want.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna do the staff first,
Mm-hmm.
and after the staff, I'm gonna attempt to attune to the ring, not knowing if it's something that's attunable anyway.
Okay. Is anybody else attuning to their item?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We're
all of you
attuned then.
can refresh your character sheets, and you should have your new item on your inventory page.
We're all cursed. Lose
Right?
10 health automatically.
And we just found the real plot of the game. We're now getting rid of our curse.
Yep.
Oh, that one's handy.
And I'll let you guys describe your own items to each other once
Ooh.
we come back from a short little break.
Sounds good.
So we'll do, what, a 10 or a 15-minute break? Your choice. What would you like to do, 10 or 15? 15? Sounds good. All right, so come back at, for us Californians and West Coasters, 10:30. East Coaster, whatever.
1:30.
1:30. And then we'll go for a little while longer until we start getting tired, and then we'll call it for the night.
We're only supposed to be starting to get tired.
Look, if you start tired, you can never start to get tired.
Exactly.
That's the secret.
All right. So, audience, go ahead and stick with us. We will be back in about 15 minutes. We're just going to take a quick bathroom break and grab some refills on drinks and things. So, we'll see you in a bit. right, welcome back to RPG Storytelling and our monthly episode of Myths of Gaea. We thank you for sticking around with us. We're actually going to be calling it a little bit short today, because it's been a long week for some of us and even longer for others. So let's start off with who is pairing up with whom, and what do you do during your long rest? Let's not all talk at once.
There's
I
some
wouldn't say
table-
that I'm super drunk at this point, but I am tipsy. So I'm just gonna like
There's-
hobble up the stairs.
Freya, it looks like Greer could use a hand. Why don't you,
Help
You
with
know.
your room?
I
Yeah,
don't need
okay.
help. But I can find the room.
Well,
And she like
I'm
bangs her head
gonna
on the corner.
be here to spot you going up the stairs anyway, because horses and stairs.
I think I don't know. I'm part horse. I've dealt with stairs my whole life. Stairs
Who
not
can use
problem.
those stairs better?
I'm
Well,
not
maybe she
going to
can
ask
help
you
you
to
in the
race
bed.
up the stairs. I'm not going to ask you to race up the stairs.
Especially
Who can
since it's all
sleep
on the first
better?
floor.
Who can sleep better?
I'm not.
Wait, the
I have
rooms
survival
are,
instincts.
the rooms are on the first floor.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Am I just heading
Problem
upstairs
solved.
to some random person's private quarters?
yeah.
Yeah, so they're at the back side of the building. Way back over here, if you so desire. I'll even drag you all over there just to make it easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. I'll do it one at a time then.
Well, so after that little detour, Freya is going to accompany Greer to the room. Make sure she doesn't barge in on some poor unsuspecting patron.
now by
Mhm.
accompany, do you mean you take a room with her?
Ah,
I mean, we have to sleep. There's a bed there if you want it.
I mean,
It's not like Greer probably uses the
I don't
bed
need
anyway.
the bed. I just
well,
sleep on the floor.
there are two beds.
There's no bed that's big enough for
Yeah.
me. I learned to make do with the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted to sleep on the floor out of solidarity.
No, it's you don't.
You
have
could
to
push
do
the
that.
beds together. Oh, don't
I-
worry, I'm on my way to
I'm
my own room. I'm just
imagining-
stopping here for the entertainment value.
I'm imagining that Gray is just
leaning on the door watching.
We're all
You
like
try to
peeking
get her into
around
bed.
the hallway corner, like
Oh, there's no
as-
peeking. I mean, this
so-
is the whole leaning
so
on the
if-
door jam,
if
egging
Greer-
them on.
if Greer is going to be sleeping on the floor, Freya is going to unroll her bedroll and sleep on the floor too, because solidarity.
Are you sure you don't want us to help push those two beds together? She'd fit.
yeah, you could probably make something big enough.
Of course.
I don't
Well,
trust
then
the
she can
legs
have
on
the
those
two
beds.
beds pushed together, and I will still sleep on
I
the
don't-
floor.
I don't trust the legs of the beds. I
Fair.
legitimately am comfortable on the floor. It is okay.
And like I said, I will join you on the floor. Not,
Is
I
fair.
not like that. I will be a respectful distance away, also on the floor.
I mean, yeah,
Sure.
it's not
Utterly
that big of
boring.
a room.
So the first room, if you look inside, is
Oh, I should pull up the map and see what we're dealing with.
rather spacious. Plenty of room for the two of you in there.
So we're
Wait,
we're on the
wait a
first-
minute. We want to peek at the rooms and pick the smallest one for those two.
So that one is the biggest. The other three are roughly the same size between the four of them.
Which one's the biggest?
The one at the left end of the hall.
The one that they gave us
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
I mean,
I
it's
guess
it
we're
probably is,
getting
yeah.
we're getting
it's
kicked
fair.
out of. Okay.
No, it's
Oh,
fair.
no, you can
They
have the big one.
they should have the big one because they need the floor space.
More room to maneuver?
Gotta have room for all 6 of those legs.
Well, Arius,
Is
Is that
Gray.
like a
Only we
six-legged
regret.
beast?
Well, now, Arius, Gray, one of you two is keeping me some kind of company tonight.
Well,
I'm
of the
happy to
two,
offer you a nice chat.
well, that sounds utterly boring. I mean, I guess if you would like to get some actual sleep, you can go listen to him until you pass out.
Choices. So, Gray, which room are you taking?
Whichever one you're going into.
Saoirse heads into the next room.
Perfect. It'll give me time to study this tarot book.
Depending on how thick the walls are.
All right. So, Arius, you can take the 3rd room, and Gray, you can pick any of the rooms.
Choices.
Well, because we do have 2 unoccupied beds in ours.
Well, you guys are doing a lot in that case. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
I mean,
like 4
you-
people.
You could go next door and watch what happens. That could also be very entertaining.
Okay. No, we're sleeping.
I got
Yeah,
performance.
we're
good.
sleeping. We're sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody is gonna believe that.
Freya
Sleeping
has
aggressively.
set up her bedroll a respectful distance away. Not like way off in the corner, because that would also be weird, but
Is this like taking the second urinal instead of the last urinal? I don't know from personal experience, but apparently there's like
I was gonna
a
say,
rule to this.
Saoirse says, "Hold on 1 second," to Gray and heads down, back out to where the bar is, and says to the innkeeper guy, "Is there any way we could make it like really cold in here all night? I love it cold."
Well, you can always try opening the window. It's about the best I can offer you.
I mean, both Greer and Freya probably enjoy fresh air, so their window would be open.
Just to say, otherwise we can lean out our window and use Mage Hand to pop their window open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, thanks.
Why am I getting flashbacks to
I got Ray of Frost. I mean, how
Other
far would it take
games?
this?
Yeah.
other games with the same 4 of us involved in these?
I'm on the other
And-
side of it this time, and I don't like
You're-
it.
Imagine how I feel.
Somehow, it's still you.
I know.
still
I mean, I'm just
me.
also just full of shenanigans too.
All
It's
right.
still me, and it's still Christy.
Uh-huh.
I'm an instigator. What can
Yes.
I say?
So, Arius, as you sit in your room alone, what all are you doing?
Aside from the attuning I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
I will start studying the little booklet that came with my tarot cards to learn tarot, I suppose.
Sounds good. All right. So, I'm not going to make him do perception checks or anything, but your night, nice and quiet, peaceful.
Is it quiet?
Don't start none, don't...
If you decide to open your window, you get a nice cool breeze coming in. But otherwise, it's a pretty uneventful night for you, other than the things that you've chosen to take part in. Gray and Saoirse, what are the two of you doing?
I mean, I'm sure you could probably use your imagination.
Brown chicken, brown cow?
It's probably not that quiet of a night, depending on how thick the walls are.
It starts with, "Hey, would you help me get my armor off?" and then
Well,
turns into
there
Proceeds from there.
and oh god, so Greer and Freya are both stuck there lying on the floor listening to this, being super, super awkward.
So Saoirse and Gray, roll me a stealth check.
Oh, well, like, we're being
At
stealthy.
disadvantage.
I don't think either
I don't-
one of us care about being stealthy at
Yeah,
all.
I don't think they're trying to be stealthy.
It's not necessarily you trying to be stealthy, it's just how much noise are you producing.
Be performance check at this point.
Could throw one of those
No,
in
I'm
there
not being
too.
stealthy at all.
Yeah. So Arius, Greer.
I crit. Saoirse had the best night of her life.
So Arius, Greer, and Freya. Sleep is going to be a little more difficult to come by than you were hoping for.
I mean, I feel like Greer and Freya were probably gonna be like up a good chunk of the night angsting anyway, and this is just making it so much worse.
At one point, you hear Gray shouting, "Whoa, you're pink here too!"
I haven't said this out loud for the stream, so for context, Gray rolled a nat 20 on the performance check.
Yeah.
So, very eventful.
Freya is going to just call out into the darkness to Greer and be like, "I don't suppose you know how to call down a lightning strike."
Which I did right now, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. That I'm being forced to learn things that I really did not need to know.
Greer.
There's some sounds I haven't heard before happening in there.
Greer, give me a history check.
Me?
Yeah.
History is not good. Oh, it's 0. So that's 15.
Oh, not bad. So you've heard things from Saoirse before. You've heard many things from Saoirse before in the past. You're hearing new things tonight.
But kind of sitting there, like, half terrified and also half like, oh, that's a new one.
But eventually, Greer and
Freya
and
dies of
Freya-
embarrassment,
yeah,
is
if-
deceased. That's
if-
it.
Yep. Eventually, Greer and Freya and Arius, it gets quiet enough that you can eventually fall asleep.
We all wake up with a point of exhaustion.
Worth
Well-
it.
About 2 hours later, the bed springs are springing again.
I was gonna say, if this is gonna be the morning, it's gonna be a wake up call too.
Oh, absolutely. Every couple of hours. But yeah, overall, it's a very eventful night for some, a very restless night for others. But you do all manage to get a long rest, no points of exhaustion for this evening. And when you wake in the morning,
Thank goodness for miracles.
when you wake in the morning,
I mean,
of
someone
you-
was praying to their god.
when you wake up in the morning, 3 of you might be a little bit sleepy still, but overall, not a bad night's rest.
We're calling that not bad?
It
I'm
could have been
calling
worse.
it great. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, as the sun comes up, you eventually all rise for the next day in your journeys for
Freya
what's going on in the world.
Freya cannot look Saoirse, Gray, or Greer in the eye. So she's just kind of sitting there looking at Arius and going, "How are you this morning?"
But we want to hear how your night was.
How
I'm
do
sure you heard how our
think
night
it
was.
How do you think it was? We were next door to you.
Well, not my fault you didn't find your own distraction.
Did you cuddle at least?
No.
Rhea's a good cuddler. She's nice and warm.
I run warm. I'm good. It was the good, comfortable temperature last night.
So comfortable.
So gray.
Yeah.
I hear you're pink in other places too.
No, it was Hoshta that's pink.
So,
Drapes match the curtains.
so,
Yeah,
too much
it's my natural color.
information. Too much information.
I suppose I'm used
I have
to
a new
it.
fondness for cloven hooves.
What you got against cloven hooves?
No, I said I have a new fondness for cloven hooves.
So, as you sit at a table, having some breakfast and some coffee and tea and other drinks of your
Freya's
choosing.
contemplating drowning herself in the coffee/tea.
Uh-huh.
Wondering if the cup is big enough.
All right. So, is there anything you would like to discuss as far as items that you got, your day's plans?
Are we gonna pick that up next session?
Yeah, we'll pick up next session. But figure we can at least discuss the items that you got so you can all learn what you got.
Does anybody
yes.
have a low AC?
What's an AC?
Does anyone
Anyone need some protection?
wish that their armor was more effective? I am not going to ask whether anyone
I
needs any
believe
protection.
Gray and I believe it's too late for Gray and Sursa.
We have magic for that.
Lesser Restoration's a pretty good spell to have on hand.
Does anyone wish their armor was more effective?
Good choice of
There are days
words.
where I would appreciate a boost. Maybe, yeah.
Okay,
Say
this is
no.
gonna come off as really weird, but I am going to offer you a ring.
No. You need to be on
Fast.
one. You need to be on one knee when you're doing this.
Oh, she
But
doesn't. She
I
does
thought
not.
you
need
Nope.
to
two
do
said
that.
No.
nothing happened. I'm so
No.
happy.
She doesn't need
Wow,
to.
that was awful
nope.
fast.
Nope.
We've known each
I know.
other
See, I told you
24
you'd do it soon enough.
Rhea,
That-
you must have truly
48
impressed her.
48 hours.
Some number of hours that is not nearly high enough to. Anyway, this
I don't
ring.
look you in the eye and I just reach out for it. Just
Yeah, totally normal. Yay, new friend ring. There we go. That's what
Yeah.
we're calling it.
friendship.
It's a promise ring.
Friendship.
It's a
That's
promise.
not what we said. That's
No.
not what we said at all.
No, not.
No.
No.
Best gal pals. Right. I've heard
Guys,
people
you're
call it
making
that.
it weird.
Yeah.
Is it a
Stop
girl?
making it weird.
Is it a girl friendship ring?
There was
Okay, moving on.
there was no way for me to give you a ring and not have it be weird with these guys here. I
No,
apologize.
I'm still not looking you in the eye. I'm looking
Yeah,
anywhere but.
Freya is not looking you in the eye either.
You two are doing a very good job of convincing us nothing happened.
That's because nothing did happen. We both slept on the floor. That is the
It is the
extent.
most professional of relationships.
To be fair, nobody would have noticed if something did happen. Me and Gray were way too loud.
You know-
There was a moment we were on the
aware.
floor.
Now, I
We
want
were
to ask
well
a
aware.
question. I'm not from these lands. Is sleeping on the floor a euphemism?
No. Look,
It can be.
Greer had to sleep on the floor, and I would have felt bad if I was all comfy in a bed, so I slept on the floor too. It's a totally normal thing to do.
Is it though?
So-
Look, not many beds are built for centaurs. And I can, if necessary sleep standing up, but like it's just not the most comfortable. So I usually just on the floor, leaning against something is the best that I can
So
get
you-
in
So
your
you're leaning on
average room.
Freya.
I was a respectful distance away on the floor.
I was leaning against the bed.
like
Against the
boring.
bed. On the floor.
And I was in my bedroll, like, I don't know, 10 feet away. Some very respectful distance.
Yes. Very
that word a
respectful
lot.
situation.
All the respect. So much respect.
Oh, so much.
So, Greer, you can add a mage plate ring. The Griffin saddlebag version, or I can do it for you, make it easy.
Sure.
Okay.
You could rename it a promise ring.
Okay. Go ahead and refresh your character sheet. Cool. So, anybody else want to discuss their items, or you want to just wait till next time?
So your ring wasn't to your liking then, Freya?
It would help someone more who was not in this much armor.
So by
I
proxy, it
felt-
did help you protect somebody?
I felt that it would be more useful for Greer than it would be for me.
When you say help protect somebody, she's looking away even further because she's trying not to blush.
So yes, I suppose in that way I am able to help protect my wonderful new friend.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
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 Well, the ring that I got seems quite nice. It'll help boost the effects of some of my healing magic.
Very nice. The ring I have allows me to become friends with animals and also allows me to cast a spell that creates vines that can entangle people.
Oh, so it does do plant things.
Hmm.
Plant and animal things?
Correct. It seems that salesman wasn't completely full of it.
This amulet thing that I got makes me essentially a cheap drunk. I have one beer, and I am drunk until dawn, and I heal. a
Well, you
fair
did that
amount,
anyway, didn't
just-
you? Without the amulet?
Well, what would normally take me quite a few beers, quite a few, mind you, perhaps even a keg or two, I would achieve in one beer. And it would be also the equivalent of a health potion.
Oh.
Oh, that actually sounds kind of fun.
So,
Not
to
bad.
be clear, no
Anything else, do you know?
rematch.
Technically, what the amulet does is if you drink 1 pint of beer, ale, or mead or wine, it heals you, and you have to
Then it says I must act drunk
You
until
must-
dawn.
act, as in pretend. Your character has to pretend they're drunk,
Okay.
because the amulet basically heals all of that for you, so you don't have to worry about
Well, I
it.
don't need to know.
So it makes you incapable of being drunk.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Like I said, it could be useful.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's just like, that actually sounds kind of fun. You know, you don't waste as much time or money or booze.
Also, health potions are expensive.
Yes.
Beer's not.
Healing magic costs, you know, my spell slots. So
It'll be a fun time.
What about you, Gray?
This? Hardly of interest. It will just keep things from peeking in on my endeavors. Which might be a good thing. Might be a very good thing.
All right.
Are you hiding things?
No, but now I can hide from anyone I want to. Gonna be poorly uninteresting on a tarot reading though. Sorry, fellow friend.
Hmm.
Okay.
More if I want to be hidden.
Mm-hmm. And as
Really,
you,
it's only effective versus like scrying magic and stuff.
and as you continue your conversations over breakfast, we will go ahead and pause there for the evening, and we'll pick up there next month for our May episode of 2025, episode 8. So we'll be seeing all of you then. I'm hoping our players had some fun tonight, getting a lot of giggles. I know I did. But for all of our audience out there, I want to say thank you for joining us. And remember that a little bit of chaos in your life is never a bad thing, especially when it's alongside a group of great people like these. And always remember that you are the legend beyond the dragon's tail. Have a good night, everyone.